Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure, and you're looking at a 2001 Honda Recon, and this is the latest project to join my horde. So I bought this out in Orange County, New York. I paid $300 for it, and for me, when I could get a Honda that shows some potential and has a bunch of parts on it for 300 bucks, I consider that a pretty good deal. I mean, you start right at the tires. They look halfway decent. Front and back, I'm not seeing cracks. They hold air, right? Mud busters in the back, and there are Carlisles in the front. So, I mean, that's important to me. You can see it has the remote exhaust system. Everybody wants one of those. Nice, well-worn, torn seat cover. And then you got the other options that are always fun. The destroyed wiring, the welded shifter, the cap that allows you to see for timing. That's all stripped out. Your very special bat switch there for turning it on and off. Holds in the dashboard. I mean, you know, I got all the optional features. Oh, I even managed to get these things, if you're able to read backwards, rain tree mud flaps that somebody installed with extra special hardware, right? They just drove those Phillips right on through. But having now picked on it quite a bit, I must say it is mostly complete. It appears as if somebody jettisoned the whole air cleaner assembly there. But once the muffler is put back on, it looks once again like most of it's there. Perhaps a couple of pieces of plastic are missing. This thing is well used. I mean, it's got the kitty paint job on it, right? They didn't go black this time. But it's well used, well battered, right? You can see it's all kind of beat up there. The headlights, I guess they wanted to get extra ventilation to keep the motor cool. But some parts of it aren't too bad, right? Like this isn't hammered. The front's hammered, but not everything is. I haven't located the VIN number yet, so I don't know if it's been scraped, right? Split like an overripe tomato. You can see the Frankenstein stitches there. The headlight is apparently missing. I'm not sure why somebody put a Dodge resistor in, right? You know, the resistor that goes in series with the points. But anyway, there we have it. Let's get this off, give it a couple of pulls and see what it does. Yeah, I think this might be some classic editions also. You gotta love it. What these poor things go through before I get them. So every all-terrain vehicle, especially when they're not running, comes through with a story, and this one, obviously, somebody did some interesting things to. Whenever you see this stuff taped up, you gotta get nervous. That might be for tail lights. I mentioned the air cleaner's gone. It actually looks melted. Maybe there was a fire back here. If you pull the string, this is, I think that's melted too, right? Or maybe, no, it looks melted. So this thing might have been on fire at some point. Yeah, some of this stuff looks a little melted. That might be where the air cleaner went. The mosquitoes are horrible by me, by the way. If you pull the string, you can hear it is what I call a huff and puff engine. It has nothing. I mean, nothing for compression. And by the way, the spark plug is in. It's not like the spark plug's out, and that's where the situation is. The person I got it from had quite a bit of mechanical ability. He actually works on stuff for a living, and he did some repairs on something else for someone, and he got this for pay. He was trying to get $400 for it, which would have been $100 profit. I offered him $3, and he took it. I know some of you guys are going to write in. I would have offered to take it away for nothing, but I gave him $300 for it, and he said that's about what he had in the repair that he got it in trade for. So he wasn't at all upset about it. It was on Marketplace for a while. It wasn't like there was a lot of crazy competition. As a matter of fact, I wasn't after this one initially. I was after a Yamaha 250 shaft drive. What are those things called? And I realized after I made an appointment to see it that I really didn't want that one. Luckily, the guy called me up and told me, oh, I found somebody to give me more money than you were willing to give me. So, okay. I was like, good. I really don't want the piece of junk. So it was nice to have been able to pass up that deal. Anyway, so $300, here it is. The story I'm told on the engine is that the top end was rebuilt and it came back without compression. At which time I'm like, shoot, they probably smashed the valves up. It needs a head, which means $300 is the right price because it's barely worth that in parts, right? I got an exhaust system and I got tires. What else do I got? The rest of it's pretty mangy. But he said he checked, he did a leak back on it, and he said it held pressure. You know, when you close the valves and pump up the cylinder, he said it held pressure. So that means the valves are good. Maybe they just mistimed it. And that's why I specifically mentioned this guy, right? I got to get that out or drill it out or whatever I got to do, because that's how you see the timing. To start off, we're going to do some rough things, some rough tricks, and I'll show you those. This is my third Recon. The first one I got was, it's quasi-collectible. It's the one from Outsiders that Aisha was driving, Aisha Foster. So that was number one. Number two is in a pretty similar shape to this one. It too has a welded shifter. And that one came from a guy upstate a little ways. He rode the heck out of it. I think it needed a carburetor. That's why I got it, right? I don't think it was running. I got it running and haven't done too much with it. And then there's this beautiful monster. I'm sure my buddy Steve, looks like the seat's already been worked on a bit, right? I'm sure my buddy Steve could set me up with a seat cover. You know, all the lights are off of this thing in the tail too. My hopes, I'd really like to get it running and moving again. This one definitely looks like a Mad Max machine, just how ugly it is and cracked and quasi-painted. Like, just looks like a classic kid's machine. So, listen closely. I'm not liking that rattle up on top. Let me know what you guys think's wrong with it. If that I'm gonna end up having to put a head on it, and then I'm not in good condition. Parts for a lot of these are through this guy. It makes them very hard to fix. Like a lot of times, people are asking crazy money for the heads. I think more crazy money for the jug, right? You can find yourself with people between the two of them, you know, $300, $400, $500, which is obviously more than the $300 this whole rig cost. before I came out, I like sprayed myself with Deep Woods off, and the mosquitoes are eating me alive anyway. They're biting me through the shirt and everything else. We've been getting a lot of rain here, and as a matter of fact, we got thunderstorms going through. I've been fighting basement flooding. I'm fighting mosquitoes. It seems that the weather has turned ugly on me here in the Hudson Valley. Out in Pennsylvania, by Gettysburg, you know, the weather's been good. They haven't been having all this crazy rain. Here where I am in New York, once again, the Hudson Valley, we've just been getting smashed. It's been hard to get anything done, and as you could see, I gotta still cut the grass. I got a lot of organization to do before winter sets in. I gotta bring in pellets, get the oil tanks filled. I got a lot of work in front of me. So I'm gonna stop this video here. I just kind of wanted to introduce this and not complain and whine like a baby. That wasn't my purpose, but just so you guys know what I'm fighting. Anyhow, I need you guys to get your projects done. Please get out there. Remember, feet down, heads up. Wow, this thing really does need love. Feet down, heads up. Make sure you get out and enjoy each and every day. You don't know how many you can get, so get out and have some fun. Bye now.